I need to tell you about the house on Route 9. Not because I want to, because if I don't, I think it'll keep happening to someone else. My name's Mark. 3 years ago, my wife Sarah and I bought a farmhouse outside a small town in Ohio. Old place. 1890s. The kind of house real estate agents call full of character. When they mean we can't explain the smell. We got it cheap. Way too cheap. Looking back, the agent mentioned, almost as an afterthought, that the previous owner had passed in the house. Old man, natural causes, she said. We didn't ask more. We should have. The house had 3 bedrooms. Ours, a small office, and at the end of the hall, a guest room we never used. It wasn't anything special, just a bed, a dresser, a window facing the cornfield out back. But from the first night, Sarah refused to go in there after dark. It feels like someone's already sleeping in it, she said. I laughed it off. I always laughed things off. That was my problem. For the first few months, nothing happened. We settled in, painted the kitchen. Sarah started sleeping badly, though, waking up at exactly 3:17 every morning. Every single night, like clockwork, she'd sit up, stare at the guest room door across the hall, and just wait, like she was expecting someone to walk out of it. I started noticing it too, not the waking up. I slept fine, but I noticed the door. It was never fully shut anymore. We always closed it. Every night, closed. Every morning, open a crack, just enough for the dark to show through. One night in October, I decided to be the responsible one and check it out. Sarah begged me not to. I did it anyway, because I needed to prove to myself, more than her, that there was nothing there. I opened the guest room door. The room was exactly as we'd left it. Bed made, dresser drawers shut. Except the window, the one facing the cornfield, was open. Wide open. Cold October air pouring in. And on the windowsill, someone had written something in the dust. 3 words. Asterisk asterisk H's almost home. Asterisk asterisk. I didn't sleep that night. Neither did Sarah. Once I told her, we didn't talk about who he was. We didn't want to. The next few weeks, small things started disappearing. A hairbrush, a kitchen knife, one of my old jackets. Nothing valuable. Nothing you'd call somebody about. Just gone, like the house was collecting things. Then Sarah's sister Kayla came to visit for Thanksgiving. We put her in the guest room, because of course we did. We still hadn't told anyone what was happening, because how do you say that sentence out loud without sounding insane? Kayla lasted one night. She came down at 4 a.m., white as paper, and said someone had been standing at the foot of her bed. Not moving, not speaking, just standing there, facing the window, with its back to her. She said when she turned on the lamp, it was gone, but the window was open again, and the cornstalks outside were bent flat in a straight line, like something had walked through them, in a dead straight path, right toward the house. We didn't go back to sleep after that. We sat in the kitchen till sunrise, and Kayla left before breakfast and never came back. That's when I finally called the agent. Pushed harder this time. Asked what past really meant. Turns out the old man who died in that house, his name was Elias Ford, hadn't died peacefully in his bed like she'd implied. He died in the cornfield, walking home in a snowstorm at night in December, 3 years before we bought the place. They found him in spring when the snow melted 40 yards from his own back door. He'd frozen less than 100 feet from his own bedroom window. The guest room had been his room. Here's the part that still keeps me up at night. The agent said something else, almost like she didn't want to. She said the neighbors used to talk about how every winter around the anniversary of his death, lights would come on in that house even when nobody was living in it. And every year, someone would report seeing footprints in the snow, walking toward the house from the field. Never away from it, only toward it, always toward it. We were 3 weeks from that anniversary when she told me this. Sarah wanted to leave immediately. I told her we'd sell in spring, once the market was better, because some stupid part of my brain still cared about money more than the thing writing messages in dust on our windowsill. Looking back, I think that decision is the reason what happened next happened. 2 weeks later, it snowed for the first time that year. A real storm, the kind that shuts down roads. Sarah and I went to bed around 11. I remember the wind sounded almost like breathing against the walls. At 3:17 a.m., I woke up. Sarah wasn't beside me. I found her standing in the hallway, in front of the guest room door. It was wide open, and she was staring into it, completely still. The way Kayla said the figure had stared out the window. I said her name. She didn't answer. I said it louder. Nothing. I looked past her, into the guest room, and the window was open again. Curtains snapping in the wind. Snow blowing in across the floor. And in the snow drift building up on the windowsill, there were fresh footprints. Small ones. Walking in from outside, leading directly to where Sarah was standing. I grabbed her arm and she turned to me. Slow, too slow, and for 1/2 of a second. Her eyes weren't her eyes. They were pale, hollow, like something looking out through a window, instead of living behind it. Then she blinked, and she was just Sarah again. Confused, cold, asking why we were standing in the hallway. We left the house that night. Didn't pack, didn't wait for morning. We drove to a motel 40 minutes away and didn't go back for our things until a moving crew could come with us in daylight, in a group. We sold the house in February, sold it at a loss. I don't care. I looked up Elias Ford's obituary once, months later, just to see his face. And underneath the photo, there was one line I haven't been able to shake since. It said he was survived by his wife, who passed 6 years before him. A woman who, according to the article, used to say the exact same thing to her neighbors every winter. Back when she was still alive, she used to say, ***, he always finds his way home eventually. ***. I don't know who's living in that farmhouse now. I hope they close that window every night. I hope they never learn what time it opens on its own. Because in that house, on Route 9, somebody is always walking home. And he's not alone anymore. ***, fade to black ***.